What's up, guys? Welcome to Beers and Breakdowns. We're back at the bar, about to go up to the movie theater. I got my man's Kurt with me, and we're gonna go check out Red Dawn. Calm down. We're gonna get both Red Dawns. We know there's a huge following out there. Tom let us know that we're un-American if we only watch the newer one. But today, we're gonna watch the 2012 with Chris Hemsworth. So, let's go. Welcome to Beers and Breakdowns. Let's go see how realistic Red Dawn is. So here we are, we're up in the theater, and now we're about to watch Red Dawn. I'm a huge fan of this movie. I know Kurt is gonna be watching it. Is this the first time for you on
First
the
time seeing the remake. I've seen the original.
Because you're a true-blooded American.
I saw it by accident, honestly.
All right, let's jump into it and check out Red Dawn.
Yeah, nice game.
Yeah, wasn't it amazing?
What do you think about the power grid being the first to go out? Like, would you do that? If you're about to infill another country, what would you want to take out first?
Of course. Yeah, take out the power grid. You're going to cripple them. They don't have any kind of, like, they're obviously civilians, right? They don't have any kind of night vision capabilities or anything like that.
So you're thinking turning off lights.
Yeah, for sure.
I was thinking comms.
Well, I mean, what are they running off of?
I don't know, to be honest
Well,
with you.
well, now I'm thinking phone grids. Yeah, the phone's not going to go. Because landlines back then, they're not going to go off the power grid. So I think the power grid would be one of the first. I'm not necessarily the first, but it's going to be up there. Like, there's going to be a couple things you're going to take out at the same time.
Yeah, for sure, power grid is up there.
Yeah.
But in this movie, the first thing to go out is the power grid. And they're just like, oh, it's all good. Turn the generators on.
Well, they're probably going to run a Carver matrix. Do you remember what that is? So the Carver matrix, there was a thing that we did in the Charlie course where you basically have the different systems or different targets, right? And each target is ranked on different categories of severity, basically, or of ranked on different categories of, I guess, severity of the consequences.
Okay.
And so you do this and you give them all a score, and at the end, the one with the highest score is generally the one that you're going to go with. And that basically ranks your targets. So they could have done a Carver matrix on the power grid, on the comms and all that, and just so happened maybe the power grid was higher.
All right, so paratrooping in as paratroopers, we know that there's very vulnerable times when you're paratrooping. That's when you first exit the bird and when you're hitting the ground. People don't know this, but like when you're just fucking like floating, dude, you got so much like time.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do. You're super vulnerable, but you're also super aware. You're super capable. You don't need your hands because you're not free fall. Free fall, you could maneuver your parachute. But static line, you're just floating to the ground like a stack of
potatoes. You're at the mercy of the wind.
Yeah,
you could do your two riser slip.
Yeah, there you go.
That's not doing anything.
Or you could turn a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's just gonna change your view.
Takes you.
But you're going where the wind takes you. So you could access your weapon system, but caveat to that, anytime we jump static line with a weapon system or free fall with a weapon system, you're storing your weapon in the soft pouch because you don't want to land on it when you PLF, parachute landing fall, which is slamming to the ground from one side to the other. So you put your weapon in a safe pouch so it doesn't get damaged when you land.
It's all tied up in there.
It's all tied up. It's really not accessible when you're floating around, trying to get to the ground to just shoot at people. So it's kind of unrealistic that they have them like shooting while they're, falling to the ground.
Right.
But here's another thing. You're in a truck and you see a bunch of people landing, they're not your friends.
Yeah, that's scary.
The perfect time to start fucking smashing into as many of those dudes as you can.
Yeah.
Because when you land, like as a paratrooper, you're out of the game for like at least 10 seconds. Like you're trying to figure out if your leg's still attached.
Do a quick diagnostic.
Yeah.
You're like, not broken. Okay.
Oh, thank God. You're doing all your Hail Marys, thanking God that you didn't break any bones.
Especially here because they're dodging trees, houses, landing on asphalt.
Yeah.
That's not comfortable.
You could take out 30 or 40 dudes just with a truck. You just go dug-a-doom, dug-a-doom, dug-a-doom. Anyway, for the paratroopers, it's not so realistic that they're just going to be blasting rounds because you would have to jump with your weapon in hand. Otherwise, it's stowed in a protective casing to make sure it doesn't damage.
I got no reception. Try the radio.
All right, so the next thing is now he can't get cell phone service. So first the power grid goes out. They sleep on it for the night, thinking nothing's up, which is just to build suspense, right? Which is fine. Because we would do the same thing. Power goes out, you think a storm, whatever, no big deal. But then paratroopers start coming in, they realize something's wrong, and then they lose comms. Once you cut comms, you're on your own.
Oh, completely.
If you
alone.
Can't, you're alone. If you can't communicate with your other elements or other people, you're on your own.
Hold aim.
This is beers and breakdowns. I got a beer.
You've had a bottle of Jameson in your hand the entire time. By the end, you go, that's fucking Oh, damn, son.
That guy's dead.
Oh.
He's dead. He's dead. They don't show him again.
No.
They're just like, forget
gone.
it. He's gone. We accept that. So the cop is the only one that has a plan. The guy's in the back of the truck. He's like, what do we do? And the cop's like, go to the cabin. That's why you need a plan. Like, you have to have a plan in place before, because everyone's going to panic. And like, if this happened in today's day and age, I hate to say it, but California, 90% of you motherfuckers are going to be like, what do we do? And then you're going to look at Texas, and Texas is going to be like, listen, you fucking idiots. Like, this is what we've had the plan the whole time.
50% of California now lives in Texas.
Yeah, well, them too. Can we talk about the fact that dude from Drake and Josh is a complete douchebag? Can we just admit that Chris Hemsworth is Thor in every movie that he plays?
He's the same character.
He's the same fucking Thor.
There.
If you're seeing this,
Is that it? No, go back.
No
There,
longer
freeze.
controlled by the government of the United States. Don't go outside unless it's an absolute emergency. Accidents are more likely to happen when people move about unnecessarily. If you've become separated from someone and you don't know where they are, a hotline has been set up to help you.
Hey, what the hell, man?
That's it right there.
So that was a fake newscast?
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's an important point, is like, first they took over the power grid, then they cut comms, and now they're controlling the news.
They're spreading disinformation.
Right.
Causing chaos and panic.
Right, so now they're telling people to stay where you are. They don't want you in the roads. They don't want you to be in their way. They don't want you to investigate. They're controlling the situation, which is super fucking smart.
Yeah, classic unconventional warfare.
Right, classic unconventional warfare.
Obviously, we don't stand a chance against these guys in a straight-up fight. If you look at the Viet Cong or the Mujahideen or even the Minutemen, it's clear. Even the tiniest flea can drive a big dog crazy. So the first thing we have to do is learn.
Chris is giving a speech about fighting for your family, in your own backyard. I mean, that hits home for me. I don't know about you, but like, that's like the no shit. Lines have been crossed. We're the fucking Afghans now. They're the Americans. It's game time.
So here's my theory. I think, people always talk about the Pixar universe and the Marvel universe. What if there's a Chris Hemsworth universe, right? And so we got all the Extraction movies. They don't explain where he got his training from. What about he got his training from here, from Red Dawn, when they got invaded. And he was the leader of the guerrilla movement.
And then he gets miserable. And one of the biggest things that people talk about is that in Extraction, he was suicidal. That's why he jumped off the cliff.
Yeah. Look, see? It's all making sense now. We see what's going on here. I see you, Chris.
I see you fools.
Is he the only one? With the
He's
gun?
training
Learn
him.
how to work together.
Nice.
Become a unit. That's gonna take some time. It doesn't take much to pull a trigger. Keeping your shit together in a firefight is a whole different story. So we're gonna have to evolve. Rewire our reflexes.
All right, so unconventional warfare, you have 7 traditional phases of unconventional warfare, which I was looking up just to make sure I didn't want to get flamed in the comments too much, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first phase is preparation.
Mm-hmm.
Second phase is initial contact. Then infiltration, organization, build-up, employment, and transition. So this phase, right? So they've realized that they have this other invading force coming in, right? So they're organizing and they're transitioning from organization to build up.
So I like what they're doing because it's just straight Green Beret all day long.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, we have identified that we need to, like you said, the build up. We gotta become a force. We have to train. We have to get ready. We have to figure out how to disrupt them as a small unit.
Guys are talking about us.
Here's a part I appreciate and then have issues with. So you can hear on the radio, he says, something against the wall. Something against the wall. So it sounds like he's coding it.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly, if you want to have comms in some kind of environment like that, you need to code your message.
Right.
So however you pass that code along, that's up to you, but you have to code it. So they say something against the wall, something against the wall, and immediately I'm like, oh, that's code. Great, they're speaking in code, that's perfect. And then he said, Wolverines, we support you.
So you kind of broke the code at that point.
Like, what the fuck, dude? You're not going to say Wolverines, we support you, because then your news, whatever news station that you're running on or whatever channel you're running on, it's going to get intercepted, and now you're an enemy. You guys are going to get murdered, most likely. So you would never say, Wolverines, we support you. But hey, you know, I'm standing here with my back against the wall because I'm tired, but we're bringing you the news. If back against the wall is a code, then boom, you just got the code.
Yeah.
Wolverine's got the code. We know you guys are listening. That's how you communicate.
And now you can exist to continue passing more coded messages.
Right.
Instead of like this.
Instead of like, Wolverines, we support you. It's like, now
No.
I'm getting shot in the face.
It's your last newscast.
Yeah.
Run. Let's go, man. You ready? Come on.
So the thing about dogs that's important is most people think you have to fool the dog. You're not going to fool the dog. You need to fool the dog handler.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that you fool a dog handler is that you do patterns that are going to make the dog handler think that dog has lost his track.
Yeah, yeah.
So anytime you're escaping a dog, if you're running through the woods, the dog's tracking you, you're going to do a clover leaf and come back to the same point. Boom. Make it like a flower. You keep coming back to that same point over and over and over, 5-6 times, and then go off. And then make another flower pattern, because what's going to happen is the dog tracks that scent. He's spot on, right? But what's going to happen is you're trying to lose the confidence from the dog handler. So you're trying to get the dog handler to think that the dog is lost his scent. He doesn't understand. Maybe he's distracted. And then the dog handler gets frustrated. So it's a very important distinction to understand that you're not trying to fool the dog. You're trying to fool the dog handler. All right, time out. That's it. So right there, this is exactly why, as a police officer, I stopped wearing a fixed blade attached to my belt. That's exactly why.
So you couldn't be disarmed and stabbed with it?
Yes, exactly. Because as cops, we get in fights all the time. People are jackasses. They want to fuck with you. They want to run their mouths. They want to fight. They want run away. They always want to fight, right? And when someone's high on meth or drunk or just being an asshole, what do? They grab and they do this. They just pull. They're looking for guns. They're looking for any kind of equipment that they can get their hands on and take off your belt. They know you have a belt on that's full of weapons, and they want a piece of those weapons. So they're grabbing at it. I had a fixed blade knife on my kit, on my belt, and I was like, dude, if I get in a fight, how hard is it for somebody to just grab, squeeze, pull, and then punch me with it. And they're just sticking me with the knife. Fuck that noise. So I took it off, and I kept watching cops, and they would have knives sticking out of here and knives sticking out of here, and it's like, what kind of fucking tactical magazine do you think you're in? If you get in a fight and you're trying to pin this guy to the ground, your mindset as a cop is don't hurt him because then I don't want to get in trouble.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's what it is. That guy's mindset is kill this fucking cop.
Yeah.
So if he gets a hold of a knife, think about that, and he goes like this, all he has to do is boom, 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 boom. He's stabbing the shit out of you. One of my buddies that I worked with all the time, I partner with him, I love him, Kevin. He got stabbed by some chick in the armpit.
Oh wow.
She had she had a hammer, or it was like some kind of tool, like a utility tool, and all of a sudden, like, she pulls it and has a knife underneath it. It wasn't a knife; it had like a hidden knife.
Damn.
And she stabbed him in the armpit with it. It almost hit his lung.
Oh, that's a bad one too.
Yeah. So like anything on your belt as far as a fixed blade knife, and then it happens right here. The enemy just grabs it and takes it. You lose dexterity manipulation when you're like a high stress situation.
Your fine motor skills are the first things to go.
Exactly. You're not going to be able to like take somebody's knife out and open it up, right? You don't have fine motor skills, but you can do this.
Yeah.
All right, guys, there you have it. Red Dawn, the second one. And for all you Red Dawn, the first one, fucking
the purist
out there, don't worry, we're going to do that one too. So calm down. We'll get to it. We'll actually do a third one just for you guys, comparing Red Dawn 1 to Red Dawn 2. So Red Dawn 1, Red Dawn 2. There you have it. All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next episode of Beers and Breakdowns. Cheers.